Thank you, Jason David Frank.
And Mr. Saban.
And thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing.
And don't forget to ring the bell so you're notified when we upload new content.
That's Tom.
And that's Chris. Decca, what do we got on deck for today?
Which Tommy was the best? You guys are given the impossible task of ranking the 5 Tommy Power Rangers.
It's our second Tommy episode, so stay tuned.
It's PRNT time.
After 10,000 years, I'm free! It's time to watch PRNT!
Rangers.
This episode of
PRNT,
your source for all things Power Rangers. As we heard in the opening, this episode is dedicated to arguably the most famous and best Ranger of all time, Tommy.
I love you, JDF.
This is our second episode, first one this season, dedicated to Tommy.
That's right. Check out the card to see the first Tommy episode.
That episode was about the history of Tommy and how he came into being a Ranger, and it ends with our very first 10-minute exclusive interview with Jason David Frank.
In this episode, which was inspired heavily by an article written by Matthew Mueller,
yep.
You think? Mm-hmm. Sorry if we butchered your name, Matthew.
Yeah.
At comicbook.com, we'll put his thing in the description.
Mm-hmm. But
basically, he was ranking all of Tommy's Rangers.
Tommy, of course, appears as 5 different Rangers. Green Mighty Morphin, White Mighty Morphin, Red Zeo, Red Turbo, and Black Dino Thunder.
Now, when doing our ranking, we wanted to look at each Tommy's overall effectiveness and the contributions he made to that particular team.
We do, however, want to make it clear that we are in no way beating on Tommy. We are in no way trying to bring him down in any way, shape, or form. If you watch this show for more than one episode or two, you know that we absolutely love Tommy.
With that being said, let's start our list with number 5. And that, of course, would be Black Dino Thunder.
When Tommy was more affectionately called Dr. O and acted as a mentor to the Dino Thunder team.
Now, we know what you guys might be thinking. Tom, Chris,
yeah,
he was the mentor of that team. That's a huge contribution. Why is he last?
And you would be absolutely right. Tommy, as a Black Ranger, had some great moments. He was able to offer his years of wisdom and experience as a Ranger, especially to Trent, who went through many of the same experiences that Tommy did when he was a Green Ranger.
And time again, he battled arguably one of the most powerful generals, which was Zeltrax.
Right. But remember our condition for ranking the Tommies: overall contributions to a team.
And if you remember, Tommy spent a ton of time encased in amber. Then he was unable to demorph. And then he was invisible.
Right. And during that time, he was mostly forced, to stay in the command center and was really unable to help his team a whole lot.
We feel that in some ways, the tech wizard Haley contributed way more than Tommy.
The Raptor Riders, the hovercraft cycle, the command center truck, those were all huge contributions when compared to Dr. O.
Now, again, we love Dr. O, but hey, one of them had to be last.
Right. Going now to our number 4 Tommy, that would be Red Turbo.
As leader, Tommy, of course, was in battle all the time with his teammates. And they did some pretty cool things, like saving Larigo, then saving Kim, and then saving Jason, which...
Right, wait. That all happened. That wasn't even in the TV series, was it?
Yeah, that all happened in the movie.
Yeah.
But outside of that, he spent a lot of time away from the team.
Right. The turbo powers, of course, were car-based, and this really spiked Tommy's interest in racing cars during this time.
This meant, of course, that Tommy spent a lot of time working at the track and away from his teammates.
He even skipped their own graduation from Angel Grove. I mean, come on.
Contributing to a team means being there and being a part both during battle and during downtimes. So that's why Turbo Red ended up at number 4 on our list.
Okay, our number 3 Tommy Ranger is the Green Ranger.
What?
I know. We hear you screaming at us through your phones and through your laptops or whatever you're watching this on, but please hear us out.
It is true that the Green Ranger is probably the most legendary of all Power Rangers.
Right.
But in terms of overall effectiveness and contribution to the team, well,
remember, the core team had to spend a lot of energy and time and resources trying to defeat him.
but he was under Rita's spell.
That's true, but he's still Tommy, and, this list ranks the Tommies, good and bad, so...
However, we have to agree that as the Green Ranger, Tommy did amazing things. Some things that the Rangers would not have been able to do without him.
Tommy did make a ton of contributions to the Mighty Morphin team. Even when he lost his powers, he was still always right there, Zoran, how can I help? How can I help? And he even made some self-sacrificing decisions along the way.
But the fact that he fought with the Rangers and that his powers were taken away towards the end, that's what landed the Green Ranger at the number 3 spot.
To keep the suspense built up, we are skipping our number 2 Tommy and going right to number 1.
And from there, you should be able to guess which one is our number 2.
So, without any further ado, our number 1 Tommy is the...
White Ranger!
Yes.
This means Red Zeo, of course, came in at number 2.
Let's start by talking why Red Zeo came in at number 2 on our list.
Zeo did come out after the Mighty Morphin team had lost their powers, completely destroyed.
Now, this was the first time that a team completely lost its powers and needed completely new ones, and you need a strong leader during that time, and Tommy, continued to be that leader during that transition.
Tommy led the Zeo Rangers against arguably one of the most powerful villains, the Machine Empire.
And showing his dedication to this team, Tommy spent a ton of extra time trying to master the mind-controlled Red Battlezord when he could have just given it up. And he also, helped build the team up more by bringing Jason back to be the Gold Ranger.
Tommy was the perfect leader for this team. We don't think the Rangers could have been nearly as successful without him.
But with that being said, there is a reason why Red Zeo is number 2.
We feel that during this season, Tommy was more distracted than in previous seasons.
Yeah, that's right. He went through some major life changes, the Dear John letter, the quest for his brother, all kinds of stuff like that.
We feel that both of these events had an influence on Tommy's trouble communicating with the Battlezord and his role as the team leader.
Right, so just kind of, that distracted kind of is what led him to being number 2. So now let's move on and explain why we put White Ranger Tommy as the number 1 Tommy Ranger.
As the White Ranger, Tommy stepped up and became the leader around the same time that Jason, Trini, and Zach were leaving the team for the Peace Conference.
Right. And as the White Ranger, Tommy led the team through many trials and tribulations, like they were put in a storybook. Tommy was turned into a liquid, just weird things like that.
And through all that, Tommy pushed through and he kept the team going.
Not even the loss of Kim when she left the team could deter Tommy from his missions as the White Ranger.
In fact, experience as the Green Ranger helped Kat through her transition from an evil person to a good person.
Right, and without Tommy leading this team at this particular time, who knows what could have happened. It could have completely changed Ranger history. Yeah.
Well, this completes our list. If you want to see how our list compares with Matthew's, like I said at the beginning, be sure to check out the description.
And while you are checking the description, be sure to leave your comments about our list. And if you don't feel like leaving a comment there, you can, of course, message us on any of our social media and tell us your Tommy Ranger ranking.
And if you do decide to contact us in any way, please use the hashtag Tommy Ranger Ranking.
Tommy Ranger Ranking, all right.
Thank you guys so much again for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing.
And don't forget to ring the bell so you're notified when we upload new content. And remember, as we sign off, our hope is that the power will always protect you.
Let's power down.